Hello, everyone. Hello, my name is Karen Nurnberg, and I'm the Vice President of Academic Strategy at Berklee. And we've been waiting in great anticipation for this moment. There have been many twists and turns over the past year to get to this point. And I will say that there is a profound sense of joy among all of us at Berklee to have you here in person with us and to welcome you here to Berklee. So I first of all want to applaud you all for all that it took to get here. We asked a lot of you, including waiting in long lines. And I want to thank you for all your efforts and patience today and along the way. So the hard part is behind you, and now the fun begins. So no Zoom sessions, we are live in person. And we are going to make a lot of music together. So I've worked at Berklee for 20 years, and I never thought I would work anywhere for that long, but I absolutely love this place. It's magical. It's like Hogwarts, only for musicians and for artists. So there is something that connects all of us here together, and it's our complete passion for music. And you've come from all over, and I'll say that you belong here with us. So this program is all about inspiring you, challenging you, and further developing the talent and passion in you. So parents, I want you to know that for so many of us, this program means the world to us. When we have this wonderful opportunity to work with your children, instilling confidence in them and supporting their creative development. I've had the great honor of working with the program directors, John Pierce, Jeff Perry, and Vessela Stoyanova, and the care and dedication that they bring to this program is just off the charts. Our faculty are world-class. They are world-class musicians and world-class educators. So not only will we see to it that they learn a great deal, but if they are interested in learning more about the undergraduate program, they can talk with undergrads who are currently enrolled here at Berklee to learn what it is like and even have the chance to audition for admission and for scholarships. And I also want to say that as a mother of 3 boys, who I hope will one day attend this program, safety is always at the forefront of my mind, particularly with all that the world has been through over the past year plus. So I want you to know that we have an amazingly talented team of staff whose focus is on the safety and well-being of students in the program. They'll be coming out shortly to talk with you more specifically about what they do. And in addition to all that your children will be learning in the program, there will be lots of activities for them to have fun, get to know the city a bit, and connect with each other. So if I can give one piece of advice, and maybe a few, first, make sure you follow the safety protocols that we will go over in a bit related to the health and wellness of the community, and particularly with respect to COVID-19. Second, and this is again, I'm wearing the hat of a mother, the heart of campus is the intersection of Boylston Street and Massachusetts Avenue. So it's a busy area traffic-wise. So if you're from an area outside of Boston, just please be mindful when you're crossing the street that you have the pedestrian signal to cross and you're looking both ways. Boston drivers don't have the best reputation, unfortunately. They're not known as the most patient of drivers, so be aware. Third, curfew is at 10:30 p.m. each night, and we do room checks each night. So we do this again to keep everyone safe. So if you're staying in the campus residence halls, you need to be in your room by 10:30 p.m. each night, not 10:31, not 10:32, you get it. So I'm gonna set aside the mother in me now. So students, I want you to have the time of your life. Take full advantage of everything the program offers. I hope you make wonderful friendships that pave the way for amazing musical collaborations. I hope the program has an incredibly positive influence on you and that it feeds the fire in your belly to continue developing your talent. And whether or not you decide to someday pursue music as a career, I hope that this program confirms that you have something special in you. Your talent needs to be nurtured and shared, whether with your family, your community, or the world at large. I firmly believe that music makes the world a better place, and you are all a key ingredient in that. So thank you. So now I have the great pleasure of introducing the program directors, John Pierce, Jeff Perry, and Vessela Stoyanova. And then we will bring up team members to talk with you about the different aspects of the program. So, John Pierce. John? All right. So I'm going to say a brief word about John. So he's a professor in the Ensemble department and has been the program director of Aspire for 21 years. He is a killer bass player, trombonist, and arranger, and just the nicest, most caring person you could meet. He also has a new golden retriever puppy, so make sure you ask him about it. He's awfully cute. So Jeff Perry. Jeff? Jeff Perry is a professor in the Contemporary Writing and Production Department at Berklee and has been the associate director of Aspire for 15 years. He is also a mean trumpet and bass player and arranger, and he has a scary photographic memory for class schedules, so we call him the human computer. Very impressive. And last but not least, Vessela Stoyanova. So Vessela is a professor in the Harmony Department and an incredibly talented composer and marimbist. She has been assistant director of Aspire for over 7 years, and get this, she attended this program as a student, coming all the way from Bulgaria. She loved it so much that she decided never to leave, and we are grateful for that. So without further ado, please give a warm welcome for John, Jeff, and Vessela, and they're gonna talk to you for a bit. And I hope you have a wonderful 5 weeks at Berklee. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Karen. Welcome, everyone. How's everybody doing? Okay? I can't tell you how long we've been waiting for this moment and how great it is to see you all here. Jeff, Vessela, and I are going to talk a little bit about the curriculum to get you started here. So music performance, that's what we're about here. And we're going to be breaking musical performance into all different little categories of study, including private lessons. You'll have instrumental or vocal labs, which are kind of like group lessons. There'll be theory class twice a week. There'll be musicianship, which is our ear training class, 4 times a week. Electives, ensembles, and visiting artists. We'll start out by just looking at a little clip of some of the visiting artists.
Don't you worry about a thing. Don't you worry about a thing, mama. 'Cause I'll be standing on the side when you check it
So that's a bunch of our faculty and some visiting artists as well. So homework, be prepared to do some homework. So every class will have assignments. You'll be doing lots of practicing. There'll be listening assignments. Think about time management, and now's the time to develop good habits. Ensembles, our program is built around ensembles at all levels. You'll be placed according to video auditions. Ensembles and labs will help you to really refine your skills and perform at the highest level. Our ensembles are split into 5 broad stylistic categories. We have jazz, pop rock, funk fusion, pop R&B, and singer-songwriter. So jazz ensembles would include instrumental and vocal styles, including swing, bebop, Latin jazz, blues, and so on. These are our broad categories. Pop rock styles would include alternative, blues, rock and roll, heavy metal, pop, funk fusion styles such as classic funk, smooth jazz, and fusion. And pop R&B vocal styles, including Motown, contemporary R&B, hip hop, etc. We also have a number of specialty ensembles. We have a big band, jazz ensemble, we have a Motown ensemble, a salsa band, we have a world music ensemble, musical theater, and a country ensemble. We have some special via audition ensembles that you can audition for if you're interested in. There's a musical theater showcase orchestra, the salsa ensemble, which is by audition, the Balkan/Middle Eastern ensemble, and the country ensemble are all holding auditions tomorrow between 12 and 4 p.m. So if you look at your student guide to Aspire, all the details about those auditions are in there. So please check that out. More about the guide coming up. We also have some ensembles that will be recording in Berklee's state-of-the-art studios. So 23 bands will get to go into the studio for a studio session. And we're all working towards performances. Throughout week 5 of the program, all our concert venues will be hopping. All concerts are video recorded, and you'll be provided with download links to download a copy of your performance, and they'll also be streamed via live stream. So everybody will get to, if parents are not able to be here in person for the performance, or if you have family members or relatives that would like to see it live, they'll get to. We have 6 performance venues at Berklee, and we'll be working out of all of them. Here's some little clips from a previous year. Here's a pop rock. So 5 weeks from now, this is going to be you. Here's a little picture where we show kind of you can see this is a schedule of performance. So in week 3, we have our jazz workshop and rock workshop performances. And then we have Sunday before the final week, Super Jam. That's a concert of student bands that you get to put together. So if you have a bunch of people that you like to play with, you'll have jam session opportunities where you can play in front of an audience, and then if you'd like to do a performance, you can sign up for a slot in that. And then we have BPC shows right here, Monday through Thursday, and all of the other recital halls are going on as well in week 5, mini concerts. Private lessons. Each student has a half-hour private lesson that's assigned based on your style choice for a private lesson. And this very important one-on-one time is reinforced by 3 instrumental labs. Instrumental labs are kind of like group lessons where you have more time with people that play the instrument and within the department. So you would, each student would have a style lab where you'd work on elements of the style that you choose for your ensemble. Everyone has a reading lab, and everyone has a department choice lab. Okay, so a style lab is based on the style that you choose for your ensemble when you applied. The reading lab, they have different names in different departments. So depending on your instrument, if you happen to be a string player, your reading lab would be called Foundation Technique for strings. If you're a vocalist, it would be Lead and Background Reading Lab. So they have different names for the different instruments. And the department choice lab varies by department. So for the voice department, they chose a performance skills for vocalists lab. For strings and brass and woodwind, it's an improvisation lab. For guitarists, it's a chord lab. So each department chooses one extra lab to focus on what they feel is important. Musicianship. Musicianship is the name that we give our ear training class. So if people ask you if you studied ear training, say yes, and the ear training would be studied in musicianship class. At Berklee College of Music, ear training classes are 3 times a week, but those semesters last 15 weeks. So we feel it's so important that we're offering it 4 times a week. So you'll be every Tuesday through Friday, you'll be in musicianship class. And the regularity of that we feel is just super important. In musicianship or ear training class, you'll be working on musical literacy, the language of music. You'll be working extensively with solfege, do, re, mi type syllables. And these come from classical tradition, and it's modified in that we use a movable do system, which is very useful and practical for contemporary music. So this is what we call a tone ladder. So you can see the D, R, M, F would be do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, represented there. And we modify, oh, thank you. So the nice thing about the syllables is they can be modified so you can sing a chromatic scale. Do, di, re, mi, fa, fi, sol, si, la, li, ti, do. Or do, ti, te, la, le, sol, se, fa, mi, me, re, ra, do. So, thank you. So these are very powerful tools, all right? And because we use a movable do system, if you know your scales on your instrument and you can sing something in solfege, then you should be able to just think of those syllables when you pick up your instrument, and then you can pretty much instantly be able to play melodies in different keys. So it's very empowering, and there's a lot you can do if you commit to studying a movable do system. That's what we use here at the college, and we believe in it very strongly. In musicianship class, you'll be doing a lot of singing, all right, using these syllables. Whether you're a singer or not, everybody's a singer in musicianship class. You'll be reading music vocally, all right? So if you're a little inexperienced at reading, musicianship class is a great way to pick it up and learn it and it'll be at your level, and you'll be with people of a similar level. If it doesn't feel right to you, we encourage you to come to the 5-week office and ask to change, and if you'd like to move into a higher level or a lower level, we'll move you. Okay, we want you to be comfortable. We also will be working on dictation skills. This is where the teacher might play something on a piano or another instrument or a recording, and you'll be dictating it. You'll be writing it out in musical notation. We'll be working on inner hearing exercises, which you'll be learning about. It's using your musical imagination to hear stuff when sound is not happening. You'll be learning the fundamentals of transcribing and transcription, very important skill for any musician. And performance is at the heart of everything we do here in the Aspire program. And our musicianship classes perform concerts in the last 3 days of the program, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And family, if you happen to be around, you're invited as well. So each musicianship class will do like a 3-minute performance here on the Berklee Performance Center stage, mostly for the other musicianship classes. And it's kind of a solfege demonstration. And each class will prepare a little presentation to present to the other classes. It's a lot of fun. At this point, I'd like to bring out my very good friend and colleague. Please welcome Jeff Perry.
How's everyone doing? So I was walking up Mass Ave when I got off my train, and I saw all you people standing outside, and I said, "We're back." So happy to see all of you here. Thank you for coming. So I'm going to talk a little bit about theory, some electives, and give you a little bit a look at the student guide to Aspire and talk about some special performance opportunities. So the first thing is theory. And theory in performance. Our emphasis is on performance. This is a performance program. The theory that we're going to be covering in these classes is to help you perform better. That is our goal. To see what we can do to get you to week 5 playing and singing better than ever. That is our goal. And theory is one way that we're going to do that. We group these by instrument and also by level. So you will maybe in a class with all guitar players or all vocalists or all drummers, but certainly all by level. So you all took a quiz before you got here, I hope, with the theory and musicianship test, quiz, well, assessment, I guess is a better way of describing that. If you have not, you need to. It is very important that you do that. So you need to please take that online assessment as soon as possible, okay? And based on that, we're going to put you in a class with peers that are at that same level, very important. They're going to be block scheduled. What that means is theory is going to be Tuesday, Thursday, 9 to 10:30, Wednesday, Friday, 9 to 10:30. What that means is everyone will have class at 9 a.m. What does that mean? Wake up. Very important. Very important. So we need you there. We need you in class. So with the block scheduling piece, one of the things that's really important with that is if you feel that you're in a class that is too easy for you or too difficult for you, we can move you very easily. Everyone's in the same slot, so your schedule won't really change. You'll just be in a new class. Makes it very easy for you and also the teachers. Very important. Concepts that we're going to cover: rhythm, scales, modes, intervals, chord spelling, triads, and seventh chords. Some of this stuff may be too complicated for you right now, but it won't be in 5 weeks, right? So we're going to try to take you from where starting point now and bring you as far as we can in 5 weeks. It's really up to you, right? The more you put in, the more you get out. It's just that simple. Yeah, we're going to go into tensions, 9, 11, 13th chords, chord progressions, diatonic, blues, all sorts of good stuff. Plenty of stuff to work on. And yes, the last thing here is homework. Yes, you will have homework. Yes, give it up for homework. Yes. And based on the work that you do away from class will help you be better prepared in class. Very, very important. Okay, the work is going to constantly be going forward, hopefully. Okay? In addition to theory, we're going to have mandatory electives. And the whole idea of these electives is everyone gets one of these, and they are a part of what we have as majors here at Berklee. So each one of these is an introduction to one other element at the college. This is a performance program. That is our main focus, but obviously there are other majors than performance at Berklee. Songwriting, production, scoring visual media is film scoring, jazz composition and arranging, that's pretty straight ahead, music business, electronic production and design, groove essentials for all instruments, that's in my home department of contemporary writing and production. During the year, all three of us are full-time faculty members here, so we get to enjoy working with all of you during the year, and then in the summer we get to see all of you come in here and do this thing. It's wonderful. And then we have a new elective, music therapy basics. So all of those are mandatory electives. You get to choose one of those, and then optional electives. And of course, they're optional. So you're going to get to choose one of these if you want. It's not required. Social media marketing, poetry slam and performance, open drum circle, thank you, musical theater workshop, singer-songwriter workshop, and yoga for musicians. 2 of these electives are on Saturdays. The poetry slam performance and yoga for musicians are going to be on Saturdays this year. So that'll give you an opportunity to do some fun stuff on a Saturday. And then here's the student guide to Aspire. Very important. Let's check this out. Okay, so here's the website. There are 5 pages. Prior to arrival, we've already done that. Beginning of Aspire, that's where we are right now. So if I click on that, this gives us a pretty good idea of what's happening this weekend. Welcome weekend. Check in, you've already experienced that joy. And here we are right now. This is the you are here moment of the Aspire orientation meeting. Later today at 6 o'clock, there'll be a housing meeting. Later tonight, a jam session. We don't want to miss on that. So we have our jam sessions, 4 separate jam sessions broken out by style, jazz, pop rock, funk fusion, and performing songwriters, different locations throughout the college. You just click on that right there, Jazz 1A, over in 1140 Boylston, Burke Recital Hall. Pop Rock, Cafe 939, just down the street. Funk Fusion, Colvin Hall 1W, performing songwriter David Friend. Okay, so 4 separate locations happening tonight, 8 to 10, okay? Lots of fun. Tomorrow, John mentioned the special ensemble auditions. Here's the locations. And also, it's broken down by instrument. So if you're interested in the Balkan Middle Eastern, it says piano, guitar, etc. is happening 12 to 1. Bass and drums, 1 o'clock, etc. So there's specific times and the specific location right here, A06, in the 130 Mass Ave building, to where if you want to participate in these auditions, you can. All of these are optional. It's all up to you. So this is where you find that information. And for those of you who have not submitted a video audition, tomorrow, 10 to 5, we will have live auditions going on. So if you have not done a video submission, don't do it now. Go there, 10 a.m., okay? Very important. If you don't take your assessment, don't use word test, assessment. If you haven't done your assessment and you haven't done your audition, we can't give you classes. It is paramount that we have this information to get you in the classes with people of your same level, okay? Very important. And then after this is, we'll be back here Monday for a theory and performance and musicianship class. You'll have instrumental department orientations. Locations are all here. And then 3 o'clock right here on Monday, we'll have a performance perspective class, okay? So that's a quick look at the Aspire page. Go back often, take a look at it, don't miss anything. Very important. So following is a little discussion about some of the things we were just looking at. Musical Theater Showcase. This year we're doing Hamilton. So if you're interested in playing in the pit for that, the auditions are tomorrow. If you're interested in being in the cast, the audition is Monday. Okay? And you can see your student guide for the rooms and the times. And Singer Showcase. Every year we have a singer showcase that will be featured in our 5-week spotlight concert. And the auditions are going to be this Tuesday from 6 to 10. And the location is at the Aspire Guide. And also the 5-week jazz choir is going to be happening Tuesday auditions as well. Sign-up information will be given to you during your voice department orientation on Monday, if that is of interest to you. And then, in addition to the singer showcase, we also have an instrumental showcase. And this is specifically for instruments, instrumentalists as opposed to vocalists. We have auditions next Saturday, and then callbacks 2 weeks from today. And then the showcase concert happens in the Performance Center right here on Thursday, August 12th. And we have 3 styles that we're going to do: jazz, rock, and funk fusion. And here's a little taste of those. Here's the Rock All-Stars. Yeah. And then the Funk Fusion All-Stars. Yeah. Yeah. So we also have some additional opportunities to perform. Those of you who are performing songwriters, singer-songwriters, tonight at the open mic in David Friend Recital Hall, the person that will be running that is Bobby Stanton, and he's also in charge of the 5-week Sidewalk series. So you can go there tonight, do a little performing, and then talk to him about the opportunity of playing in the Sidewalk series, which is in front of the bookstore, Thursdays between 1 and 2. Weather permitting, of course. We also have, every week, we're going to have a singer-songwriter open mic on Mondays in Cafe 939, jam sessions Tuesday and Thursday, David Friend Recital Hall and 1A Recital Hall, Burke Hall on Thursday nights. And then the Super Jam concert, Sunday, August 8th, 1 to 4 in David Friend Recital Hall. And again, tonight, we have the opening jam sessions organized by style. So that'll be fun. Don't forget to go to that. And next up, I have the pleasure of introducing Vessela Stoyanova. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon. Are you overwhelmed yet? All this information coming at you? It's going to be a lot of fun. Last summer, we had to do this online, and we didn't get to really spend physical time with the students, and we're so thrilled that we were able to do this year. All right, let's talk about a few important things. If you do well in these 4 classes, theory and performance, musicianship, your ensemble, and your private lesson, if you get a B or above, you get 3 college credits. That is especially important to those of you who are coming back in the fall. As Karen mentioned earlier, I came as a 5-week student, and I got my scholarship to go to Berklee undergraduate through 5-week. So the following year I came. Back then they didn't have the credit the way we do it now, but if you do come back, you have 3 credits already in your record. And if you come 2 summers in a row and you do well in those 4 classes, you get 3 more credits. So that's a total of 6 college credits for being with us. We have an amazing 5-week office. Our team this year is absolutely stellar. Diane Wernick and Kathy Olson are in the main office. And then in addition to that, that's in room 120 in the 150 Mass Ave building. You'll get to know these people well. This is the place where you come for all sorts of questions. In addition to these 2 lovely ladies, we have a team of temps and work study students who are current Berklee students. They can share with you their experience of what it's like to be here throughout the year. They're really, really wonderful, and they'll be helping you out with all sorts of things. Here are some of the things that you can bring to the 5-week office. Any questions about your classes? As Jeff mentioned, if your theory or musicianship class is too easy or too hard, talk to your teacher, get their advice whether it's a good idea to move, and if they say it's a good idea, then come to us and we'll change your level for you. We'll have our work study students there with an iPad. You can just fill out a very quick Google form and you're done. Any of the performance opportunities that Jeff just threw at you, if you get confused and you're not sure, or if you're just curious about more information, what is the singer showcase? What is the instrumental showcase? Come to the 5-week office, ask all these questions. Someone there will be able to help you. Any of the extracurricular activities, where are people meeting, all of that stuff, how to contact your teachers. If we don't have the answer for you, we know how to find it. Our team is really good at that. So with all of these questions, come to us. Again, it's room 120 in the 150 building, so it's just down the hall from here. Hopefully, most of you have figured out how to get on the Wi-Fi. I have 3 wonderful stepdaughters, and the first thing they do anywhere we go, any Airbnb, any place, any restaurant, they're on Wi-Fi long before my husband and I. So I'm sure you guys figured it out. If you haven't, your OnePass username and password are how to get in. If you have any problems with it, 2238@berkeley.edu is our lifeline for all technical issues. Send them an email and they'll get back back to you and help you out. Check your Berklee email. Check it often. This is the first time we're actually able to issue Berklee email addresses to our 5-week students, and we're very excited because that truly makes you part of our community. This is how we communicate with each other. This is where a lot of important information will be coming. In previous years, there's always a confusion. Mom or dad signed you up for the program, their email is on file, then you have your own email, and it's been a bit messy. This year, you have a berkeley.edu email address. Please check it. There are other resources that you're welcome to use here at Berklee. We have an outstanding library where you can find all sorts of recordings, videos. Your class might have books on reserve, things that you can access. Go to it. It's in the 150 building, and there is also a link. You can find all of that, again, on our website. The Learning Center is also there for you. We have year-round tutors. These are students who are higher semester, who are really, really good at harmony, ear training. They can help you out if you have issues with your homework, if you're getting confused, if things are a little bit difficult. Our tutors are amazing, and you can sign up through the learningcenter.berkeley.edu link, and you'll get a half-hour one-on-one. Amazing resource. I teach harmony during the year, and a lot of my students, my really amazing students, are tutors there, and I know how deeply they care. They're nerds. They're true harmony nerds, and they can't wait to help you guys out. Okay, this is very important. Your actual schedule with the classes you're going to, with the rooms, locations, times, all of that will be available on my.berkeley.edu. That's a website. Go there and you'll find it. They're not going to be done until Monday evening. Jeff, John, and I are going to spend all of today and all of tomorrow building your schedules. Keep in mind, if you did not do your assessment for musicianship and theory, you're going to be placed in the lowest level. So please go do that as soon as you can. All you need is a computer, headphones, sit down, do it. Don't be scared. We have a class for you no matter how advanced or how beginner you are. So just do it. That'll help us place you in the correct class. Same with the auditions. If you haven't done your audition, come to us tomorrow and we'll assess where you belong. And so Monday evening, hopefully before midnight, hopefully, we'll have all of your classes squared away, and you can find it at my.berklee.edu. Are you sufficiently pumped to play a lot of music this summer? Yes. Thank you, guys. We'll see you very soon.
Hi, everyone. Welcome, and congrats for making it here, and congrats for getting past check-in. So, my name is Lee Denton-Smith. I am the manager of summer programs for student affairs. I will be filling in for Karen Nurnberg, who had to step away for a little bit. A lot of what I'm going over in this part is just a review of what you may already know or have gone through already. But the first one, just to reiterate what my colleague just said, is a note about email communication. So the berklee.edu email addresses that we were able to assign to you for this for 5 week will be the medium in which official communications will be sent. So make sure that you get in the habit of checking that on the daily. Next. One thing that's new this year that I'm really excited about is that we are doing the CrowdCompass mobile app. So if you have not done so already, go to the App Store on your phone, download CrowdCompass. There is a schedule that's available for 5 week. So you do a search for Aspire and download the event calendar there. Check it regularly. There'll be a lot of events notifications that get sent, and there'll be push notifications that help remind you of when, say, special events that are happening. The app will not have your personal schedule. It's more of it will not have your class schedule, so it will be more of these are the events that are happening during 5 week kind of thing. And then your personal class schedule will be available through your berklee.edu email address. A little note on COVID safety is that we are, and again, as a reminder, you are required to do a daily symptom check through the CoVerified app. Get in the habit of just making that the first thing you do when you wake up in the morning. That way you will have your clearance all set for being able to get in and out of the doors in and around campus. If you don't do that, you will be blocked access from entering any Berklee buildings. So, and it can take a little bit of time for CoVerified to clear once you do the daily symptom check. So make sure you just get in the habit of doing that every morning. I guess that covers that slide. And then some COVID safety protocols is that we are also having through the CoVerified app is that once a week you will do COVID testing at the Berklee Testing Center at 167 Massachusetts Avenue. The tests, all of you had to submit a PCR test in order to be able to come here today. It's the types of testing that we do at the testing center is also a PCR test, and it's very non-invasive. You're able to self-administer the test with the nurse or a medical professional supervising. If all y'all remember kind of the early days of COVID-19 and how they had those invasive nasal swabs that went deep up your nostril and felt like it was poking around at your brain, these are not that, thankfully. So you can schedule these through CoVerified as well too. If you go and explore the app, you can. There's a spot there where you can book a time to go there into the testing center. The results will also appear in the CoVerified app in the same spot where you, or the same area where you go to schedule it. So your COVID-19 testing day, we've assigned just to kind of help reduce the distribution of, or spread out the distribution of people who go to the testing center on the various days. So the assigned testing day will be based on your last name. Tuesday will be the last name begins with A through F. Wednesday, last name begins with G through L. Thursday, the last name begins with N through R. And Friday, last name begins with S through Z. Up next, I am going to introduce my colleague, Rosemary Dowling, the director of Campus Life.
Woo! So much fun, y'all. I am the director of Campus Life, Rosemary Dowling. I like to say it's the director of fun, so I'm not going to be talking about the COVID protocols for a few minutes. You're welcome. All right. So the Center for Campus Life, we don't have a traditional student center here at Berklee, but we do have the Center for Campus Life. It's located in the 150 Mass Ave building, just next door here, on the A level. And it's not a huge space. You walk in, you might be a little confused, but don't worry, we are there. We have a front desk that's staffed. I think right now we're 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. every day of the week, so there's students there that can assist you with anything. If you have questions, if you don't know where you're going, if you are bored, anything like that, you can come and talk to our students pretty much any time of day, and they can help you out with that. We do have a ping pong table, we have a pool table, we have, I think, 4 Nintendo Switch that we can sign out, we have 2 Oculus Quests that we can sign out. So we have lots of things for you to do there. We have board games that are out and about for you to kind of explore. And we put on different events throughout the week. In a few seconds here, we'll get to our Instagram. I highly recommend you follow us on Instagram. That's where we post most of our events. Some of them will also be in the app that our colleagues are putting on. But we do put on events not just for our 5-week students, but for all of our Berklee students. And so those are highlighted on our Instagram, and you are welcome to join us at any of those as long as it's in line with any of your curfew or other protocols. So feel free to check those out. This year we did add some new equipment for you as well. We're encouraging folks to spend some time outside, so we do have some soccer balls, some frisbees, some tennis rackets, things like that. So if folks are looking to borrow that type of equipment, you can stop by, sign those things out, and we can show you kind of where in the neighborhood you can use some of that equipment as well. So lots of exciting things to do there. And I highly recommend, like I said, just come by and check it out. This is my expectations slide. This is my big one. I don't know what it is, but like something around 10 p.m. after like that giant bag of Doritos and a nice cherry Mountain Dew or whatever it is the kids are doing these days, y'all just leave your trash. Please don't do that. Just make sure you're cleaning up after yourselves. I'd hate to have to close the lounges or kind of cut back on services because it's being misused. So as long as you all do your best to respect the space and the people around you, then we'll make sure we're continuing to put on events and keeping lots of stuff about to entertain you. Despite your best efforts, you cannot practice 24/7, so please make sure you're taking breaks, come and see us, and we'll help you with some of that. So again, we are in 150 Mass Ave on the A level, so that's, you go in the front door and down the stairs, and you'll kind of bump right into our desk right there. It's pretty hard to miss. Instagram is Berklee Campus Life. If you think of any questions or you aren't sure about anything, like I said, we're kind of a one-stop shop for anything students need. You can just email us, campuslife@berklee.edu. And then the only other thing I'll say, this is somewhat to families. I know that for a lot of you, you're excited. This is the first time we're out in the wild in a while, so we're gonna be excited in meeting people. Some of us struggle a little bit more with that, so if you're not connecting with students, if you're having a hard time making friends, if you're feeling lonely, homesick, any of those things, come and talk to me. We can help to connect you to other students, make sure we can help you find your people. Families, if your student's calling you and telling you, my kid's not making friends, they're really struggling, you can call me and I can have our team kind of do some outreach and see if we can connect them to make sure that they're getting involved. So we want to make sure you're enjoying your time here. There's lots to do. Boston, summer in the city is the best time to be here in my opinion, so we'll make sure we connect you and get you involved. So I'm going to bring back out my colleague Lee, who's going to talk about some of the specific events we have planned just for you all.
Thank you, Rosemary. So, Rosemary's great. One of the events that we are doing tomorrow is a carnival that will be in the cafeteria. Stop by, there'll be a lot of fun carnival type games, activities, and food, of course. If the carnival is not really your thing and you prefer kind of more quiet activity, there'll be a coloring station, there'll be a make your own Zen garden, there'll be a whole bunch of other kind of more quiet themed activities going on there. And stop by and just use this as kind of an opportunity to explore, connect, and make new friends. We have a lot of other activities that are going on during 5 week. Again, just to reiterate, carnival tomorrow. There is a Red Sox game that we'll be going to that'll be happening later during 5 week. There'll be game nights, coffee hours, outdoor movie nights, and on the weekends we're planning kind of a fun outdoor movement-based activity. Check the Crowd Compass app. We will be listing all these events there. These are great opportunities that we encourage you to take advantage of and really socially connect with everyone here. Up next, I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the health and wellness area here to fill in for some of my colleagues who couldn't be here today. So health and wellness encompasses nursing and medical care, psychological and emotional care, and anytime there's any kind of a concern going on with students that the health and wellness helps address. In terms of medical care, something good for you all to be aware of is that we do have a nurse on duty during 5 week. They are here from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., 7 days a week. They are also located at 167 Massachusetts Avenue. Since the testing center, the same place as the testing center, so because the testing center is operates from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., if you needed to go see the nurse past 4 p.m., there is a doorbell on the outside that you can ring for service. So the nursing station offers kind of basic first aid and triage. They will notify parents if there's any kind of a more serious or urgent or critical situation that may need to be escalated to, say, urgent care or even the emergency room. The nursing team collaborates very closely with all the on-call services for any kind of emergency responses that happen. In terms of like the first aid and triage, it's just noting, I like to think it's kind of more just basic things. So, think about the first aid kit that you have at home. It's kind of like that, but with a nursing team helping you out and helping helping you out and helping you figure out what's going on. So, urgent care, obviously we hope none of that happens for anyone here, but if you do get to a situation that needs to be escalated to urgent care, some things to keep in mind is to bring, there'll be a paper copy of the signed consent form. That is actually going to be something that will be able to be printed out from the Magnus Health portal that a professional staff member, if you are a minor, a professional staff member will be printing out for you. Any kind of medical information form, and bring your Berklee ID, bring your insurance card, and any kind of form of payments or payment method rather to cover co-payments or out-of-pocket expenses. So these will be accompanied transports if you go to urgent care. Same thing with emergency medical care. Again, we hope this doesn't happen to anyone here, but if it does, it will depend. Here's some of the things to keep in mind. It could be any kind of variety of hospitals in the area. One nice thing about the very central location of Berklee is that we are very close to drive or even walk in some places to some of the best medical care you can find, in my opinion, literally anywhere in the country. If an emergency care should happen, you will likely be going to one of the local hospitals in the area. And of course, parents and guardians will be notified of the location when you are taken to emergency care via ambulance. Same thing with the urgent care. It's just we'll have the professional staff member who accompany you will print out your information from Magnus, bring your Berklee ID, your insurance card, and some kind of payment method to cover co-pays, out-of-pocket expenses, etc. Emergency psychiatric care, it's the same thing as medical care, is involving your transport to the emergency room and ambulance. There's also various local hospitals there that will be depending upon the emergency medical team, medical need, age, and so forth. And again, with emergency psychiatric care, parents, guardians of minors will be notified of the location when that happens. Same thing as before. I won't keep repeating myself, but the Magnus Health form will be brought by the Berklee ID card, insurance card, and the payment method for co-pays. Last, for health and wellness, we have counseling services. They are located at 161 Massachusetts Avenue on the 4th floor. They're open from Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. For 5 weeks, they are available for crisis response to triage stabilization. They also offer on-call counselor during business hours, and after hours they have on-call counselors for emergency. If you need to get in touch with them for an emergency situation, contact public safety via the public safety emergency line at 617-747-8888. The counseling center is also available for in-person or remotely via Zoom for emergencies that come up for participants during the 5-week program. As a reminder, if the participants are under 16, the counseling team will connect with the parent guardian. If they are over 16, if they're able to consent to speak with the counselor on their own, there will not necessarily be the communication with the parent guardians. However, the resident assistant or resident director will be corresponding with the team and the debating and getting information on whether to reach out as well too. So parental consent is necessary for students under 16 to participate in and receive counseling care at the first visit. That was one of the forms that you filled out before checking in here. And then consent from counseling, it's worth noting, is distinct from the general medical consent. Next, I'm just going to give some basic information about another department here at Berklee, accessibility resources for students. Accessibility resources, it provides services such as academic, or they help, I should say, connect you with services such as academic accommodations, housing and dietary accommodations, and academic coaching services. So they are located at 939 Boylston Street, second floor, room 201. The web address is right up there, as is their email address, accessibilityresources@berkeley.edu. They have a great team there that can help connect you or hopefully help address any needs if you do have any type of need that may require their services. So definitely reach out to them if you think they could be of help to you. So up next, I am going to invite my colleague, Brayden Bradford, out, the assistant director, or the assistant admissions communications coordinator, to talk a little bit more about admissions here at Berklee.
Hello, how's everyone doing? My name's Brayden Bradford, and pretty much I run the call center for Berklee, so you may have spoken to me on the phone or you may have received an email from me at some point. I'm originally from Salt Lake City, Utah, and I graduated from Berklee in 2019 in guitar performance. So just to tell you a little bit about some great opportunities for applying to Berklee during 5-week. So one of the main reasons why you would want to audition now is because you'd be acting as basically super early action, that you would get the chance to receive your decision by October 15th, instead of the people who would normally apply by November 1st and receive their decision by January 31st. So it definitely gives you an advantage to be able to plan for a long time and, yes, be able to do that. So here are the audition dates that will happen. So July 24th, July 31st, and August 7th. And then the normal application deadlines for anyone interested in those are listed there. So some of the details about the audition and interview. This is information on how to get started doing that. I would highly recommend anyone who's interested in auditioning at Berklee, if you get your phone out and search for Berklee 5-week audition. On my Google, it shows up as the third link down, called Auditions and Interviews at Aspire. And so all of this information is listed there along with any updates about auditioning. So another thing that's really important to think about in addition to the audition is the interview. So of course, most of you know that in the audition you would be assessed by Berklee faculty. But I know when I auditioned at Berklee, I didn't think about that I would also be interviewed by someone like me who works in the admissions office. And so I'd highly recommend on Berklee's website, it lists all these interview questions. We make it really easy because we give you the questions that we would ask in advance, pretty much. And so I'd highly recommend looking up those questions or taking a picture of these now and preparing some specific examples to share with the person who does your interview, maybe even me. So there is actually going to be a how to prepare for the Berklee audition workshop that you can participate in. It will have information about that on that same link that I told you about earlier, that you'd be able to see the exact date. Right now it's listed as to be determined, but that should be posted soon on that website. And so just for your information, Berklee awards during 5 week over $45 million annually in scholarships and grants to undergraduate students. And so yeah, and during 5 week we'll award several $1 million in scholarships for summer study to 5 week students who participate in the audition and interview. Yeah, and now I'd like to introduce the Berklee Police Officer Stephen Bliss. Thank you. It's the public safety.
How y'all doing? First of all, I want to say as the only department that was here for the entire last year, it is really nice to see people back. It was a very, very odd year. As a parent of 3 at home, I can tell you your parents are as excited that you're here as you are. I guarantee that. I can't wait for my kids to go to camp. Okay, I'm not technology efficient here, so I need help. Pull the president. Shut it down. Isn't okay. So what does he have to do? Okay. Yeah. See, this is why we have experts. So I am Officer Bliss. I've been with Berklee College PD for about 2 years now, and before that I was with another campus, so pretty much my experience is all campus PDs. We're 21 sworn. Just so you understand how campus PDs work, we have the same jurisdiction and authority on campus and surrounding areas that your local cops do, okay? The difference is we have one goal here. Our goal is to make sure you all have a safe and enjoyable time, okay? We don't want you to worry about coming and talking to us if you have a problem. Or if you see something, come talk to us. There's 21 of us. We have 10 civilian employees, so that's like dispatchers. When you call the main number, you're gonna get the dispatchers. There's 40 security people. The way you tell the difference is the security guys are wearing white. They obviously are not carrying weapons. They're the ones that you're gonna check in with when you go into your dorm. They're also gonna be the ones that, I know you all are gonna deny this, but they are the ones that are gonna come let you in your dorm rooms when you lock your keys in or you lose them, okay? And I can already look around and I guarantee you there's probably 10 or 12 people here that are gonna do that tonight. We are a 24/7, 365-day department. There is always someone here, usually 3 to 4 of us working. So there's always gonna be somebody when you call that number. You're gonna see us out walking up and down Mass Ave. I work the 2 to 10 shift. I'm not out as much on walking beats, but we have guys out on bikes. We'll have guys in the cruisers. If you see something and you need to stop one of us, feel free. That's why we're here. We're here to make you all safe. We do conduct, I'm the primary detective. We do conduct investigations, probably not for this group, but if you do have something that you need, something happens. Somebody scams you out of money, okay? That's a big one here, okay? Take it from me. Don't give your information to anybody, okay? If it's not your parents or it's not the school, don't trust anybody. I hate to say that, but I deal with about 50 to 75 financial investigations a semester. Don't give your information over the phone. If somebody's calling you and asking you for your credit card number or telling you that you need to settle a debt, and guess what, they want you to go buy gift cards, that's not usually the way it works, okay? Just take it from me. One thing I do want to say on, the police department doesn't offer safety escorts, okay? We don't have a lot of guys on at any one time. If you are somewhere and you don't feel safe getting back and it's within walking distance of the campus, call the department and we'll have one of the security folks come and escort you back, okay? If you're here at the BPC and you have to go over to 270 at night and you're really not sure where you're going or you're not comfortable with it, call. That's what those guys are there for. We'll get somebody over. You may have to wait a few minutes. We'll get somebody over to walk you back. Again, that's our primary concern, is making sure that you all are here safe, your parents don't have to worry, and that you have a good time, right? I mean, that's what everybody wants to do, okay? If you are walking groups. Boston is a very, very safe big city, okay? However, we are a big city, and a lot of the same problems that we have, that you're gonna see in other cities, we do have them. If you're walking at night, walk in groups. Pretty much all the streets around here are well lit, so, you know, if you're in a group, you're gonna be fine. I know nobody's gonna listen to me on this one because, like I said, I have 3 kids. Don't use headphones, okay? When you're walking at night, don't use headphones. Don't be looking down at your phone. Like I said, I can already see the blank stares. Always lock your dorm rooms and windows, okay? Keep your doors locked. You're probably gonna lock your keys in there, but that's all right, we'll get you back in. Lock your dorm rooms when you leave. One thing I do wanna say is when you're going into your dorm, just take a glance behind and see who's behind you. If you don't know that person is a Berklee student and you don't know that person is in one of your groups and they are just trying to come in behind you, what we call piggybacking, don't let them in the dorm, okay? There's gonna be a security guy. If you have a problem, you know, talk to the security guy and tell him that person didn't scan in. I know it sounds trivial, but trust me, we have a lot of problems with people trying to get in our buildings. For those of you that will use Lyft, please, please, please verify the information that you get from them before you get in the car, okay? We don't have a lot of problems with that around here, and trust me, I know most of you haven't been here at night. Mass Ave is a line of Lyft cars, or Uber, whichever. Between Uber Eats and Lyfts and all that, there's cars everywhere. If you're gonna use them to go any place, and I know you have a 10:30 curfew, if you are gonna use them to go any place, please verify the information before you get in the car, okay? Those are the numbers you need to know. I would recommend that the 888 number you put in your phone right now so you have it, because I guarantee you will forget it. If you're off campus, and I mean, you know, you're further down Mass Ave or, you know, you're going somewhere off campus, call 911 first. If you want to call us after that, call us after that, but Boston's chances are, depending on where you are off campus, Boston's going to be able to get to you a lot faster than we can. Transit is the train system, which I don't, if you're gonna ride the red line or the blue line or the green line or whatever, that's the number for them. If you know 911 and you know our number, you're gonna be good. And that's all I have. We try to make this short and sweet because we know this isn't the exciting part of the presentation. So thank you, and again, welcome. It's good to have you here.
All right, hi everyone. My name is Michelle Quinones and I am the director of our Community Standards and Conflict Resolution Office. So a lot of the information that I'm going to be going over today is maybe not the most fun, but it's definitely important information for you all to know in order to have a successful 5-week experience here. So with that being said, I wanted to really go over what it means to be a part of the Berklee community. So specifically, you all are bound to our Code of Community Standards, and this is our code of conduct, essentially. It lists all of the rules. It's a lengthy document. I understand that doesn't maybe make for the most interesting reading, but at least familiarize yourself with what all of the rules are. A lot of them are common sense, should not be super new to you all. But it applies to behavior on and off campus. So with that being said, I'm definitely not fishing out in the community trying to find out where you all been or finding any reports, but certainly if something is brought to our attention, then obviously need to look into that. There are specific rules and policies in place for summer programs participants, which we are going to stress in the next few slides. But ultimately, like we've been talking about, Boston is a big city, it's a walkable city, it's fun, lots of things to see and do. Whether you're living on campus or you're living off campus, we still want everyone to be good representatives of what it means to be a member of the Berklee community. So whether you're living off campus, really being mindful of our neighbors, so both neighbors that are, residential neighbors or business neighbors, and really representing ourselves well. So some of the things that get brought to my attention from neighbors is things like noise, specifically music. I know it's unfair, but since Berklee's a music school, anytime neighbors hear other neighbors playing music and it's irritating to them, they always assume it's a Berklee affiliated student and they're calling my office reporting it. So again, just being respectful as far as like when you're choosing to practice, how loud you're being, what steps you're taking to kind of mitigate any noise that might be going through the walls. And then overall, just being respectful neighbors and upholding the Berklee name like I mentioned. So specifically, wanted to talk about our drug and alcohol policy. For our 5-week program students, there is a zero tolerance policy for any violation of these rules. By zero tolerance, what we mean is that you are going home. And I don't want to do that. We've had to do that in the past, but ultimately, we just can't have young students here that are violating these policies without quick repercussions for that. So just to read through it, summer program participants are prohibited from consuming or selling alcohol in any area of Berklee, regardless of age. The unlawful use, possession, or sale of drugs or alcohol is strictly prohibited. It is a violation to be in the presence or under the influence of alcohol and or drugs on campus, and the odor of marijuana or any other prohibited substance is enough to constitute a violation of that policy. So marijuana is recreational and legal here in Massachusetts. You have to be of age, 21 or older, in order to partake in that. So again, it's not allowed on campus at all, regardless of one's age. And this includes medical marijuana as well. So if that is something that anybody here has legitimate need for, then speaking to our accessibility resources for students' office may be possible, but regardless, no one is going to give you the opportunity to have that on campus, all right? So like I said, I'm not here to be like the Debbie Downer of the presentation, but I don't want to send anybody home this summer. So I just want it to be super clear. I'm sure none of you want to lose this experience, have to go home earlier than any of your friends, lose any of your money, have family or parents upset because you've wasted some of their time and money. We don't want that to happen. So I really want to harp on that. So some important things to note. So Berklee administrators do reserve the right to remove any participant from the program, not just for alcohol or drugs. It could be, fighting or other sorts of harmful behavior that gets reported. We can determine who is going to be sent home. There also is no appeal for these situations. So if you are found responsible and it's determined that you're being sent home, that is the final decision. There is no further option above that, okay? And if a student is dismissed, we work closely with families to try to get them here within 24 hours to pick up their student. Again, I know this is all stuff that hopefully we're all sitting in our seats saying that's definitely not going to be me or my student, and I hope that that's the case, but really want to be as clear as possible in our session today. So with that being said, I do wish you all the best, and I hope that if I see you, it's just seeing you in the halls or in the cafeteria to say hi, but I'll pass it off to Kelly Downs next.
Hi there, everyone. Welcome to Berklee. I'm so happy to see all of you today. I'm going to try to get myself ready to see what I'm going to be talking about today. So my name is Kelly Downs, and I am the Chief Equity Officer and Title IX Coordinator at Berklee. And an important part of my role is to ensure that Berklee has an environment that is safe for everyone, where everyone, regardless of their identity, has a full opportunity to participate in their education and in whatever program they're enrolled in. And so that applies also to everyone here that's going to be in the 5-week program. I work at the Center for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, which is located at 921 Boylston Street on the 1st floor. We house also the diversity and inclusion team, who develops all kinds of wonderful programming throughout the year for all members of our community at Berklee. And we work with students who've experienced any kind of harm that may come from discrimination, harassment, or any kind of sexual misconduct. And we offer lots of opportunities for students to remedy that harm. We provide support resources that I'll describe in a little bit more detail, and work very closely to make sure that if someone does experience that kind of harm while they're enrolled at Berklee, that we stop it from happening again, and that there is some accountability involved for anybody who may participate in that kind of behavior. So my equity team consists of myself as the leader of the team, as well as Juliana Despinos, who's the Deputy for Equity and Title IX Investigations. And we also have Amanda Bedford, who is our Deputy for Equity Intake and Support. And she is probably the most likely person that folks would meet when you come into the center. She would probably be the first person that a student might meet if they've experienced some kind of difficulty that they want to discuss with our office. So I want to just reiterate that part of our commitment to ensuring that we have the best possible environment for all of our students is to make it clear that we are fully in compliance with Title IX and other federal mandates, but also importantly that we really want to promote a culture where that values civil rights and our equity policy and process, which I'm responsible for administering at Berklee, is one that really sets out what our goals are regarding diversity, inclusion, respect, and compliance with appropriate behavior at all times. The equity policy prohibits acts of discrimination and harassment on the basis of protected characteristics. Those protected characteristics are many in number, but they include things that you would probably presume would be included in that. Age, gender identity, race, ethnicity, religion, as well as others. So anyone can report to equity. You can report a student, a faculty, or a staff member. I also want to make clear that if you as a student in the 5-week program experience some kind of identity-based harm, any kind of discrimination, harassment, or sexual misconduct, that it doesn't necessarily have to involve another Berklee community member for you to come to our office for help. Our policy also applies to people that aren't affiliated at Berklee. So if you as a member of our community experience something that involves someone who's not affiliated with Berklee, we can still support you, provide you with resources, and talk you through that situation. We have a variety of different reporting options. You don't have to walk into our office, although we'd be very happy to see you and speak with you in person. But you can also file an online reporting form. That can also be anonymous if you choose to do that. You can also email us at equity@berklee.edu or call us at the center, and the phone number is listed up there. And again, you can always come to visit us at 921 Boylston Street on the first floor, and we're way in the back on the first floor past the David Friend Recital Hall. So some of the things that we can do to help a student who may have experienced some kind of a problem, we can issue no contact orders, which is something that we frequently do if students are engaged in some kind of a conflict. And sometimes the best thing for us to do is just to ensure that there's no further communication between two parties. We can also provide academic accommodations and adjustments. We can also engage in housing relocation or reconsider somebody's room assignment, which can be temporary or permanent, depending on the circumstances. In some circumstances, we can assist students in obtaining a formal restraining order in court if that's warranted. We can also enlist the help of our public safety folks to do that as well. We can make referrals to a variety of different on-campus resources like community standards or counseling services or health and wellness if that's required. And the idea really is that we want to be there for all of you so that we can help make sure that you're connected to the services that you may need in order to continue with the program and get the most out of it that you possibly can. So one thing I want to make clear is that although we will always keep information that you share with us private, meaning that we would only share it even within Berklee with folks that really have a need to know, we're not a confidential resource. For confidential support, you would need to speak with somebody in the counseling center, and you'll hear a little bit more about the counseling center in a few minutes. But that is one really great resource that we have on campus for our students. We also have additional resources that are confidential that are off campus, and those are also listed on our website, and we could also talk those through with you if you came to speak with us. So parent-guardian notifications. We don't automatically notify parents if a student comes to us with some kind of a concern. It really depends on the nature of the report. So for both parents and students, I want you both to be clear on that. We will take into account what the nature of the concern is, and always our most critical consideration is the health and safety of you, our students. Parents and guardians of minors will always be notified if we have reason to believe that their health or safety is at risk. So that is one way that we will definitely, you'll hear from us if it reaches that level. But I want students to know that if there is a requirement or that we feel that we need to contact your parent, that we will work with you and will not notify your parents without your knowledge. And sometimes I've even had students sit in my office with me when I make that call and have put that student right on the phone with their parent, and I think that usually makes everyone a little bit more comfortable with the phone call and with the information that we need to share. So one other thing regarding our equity process, we reserve the right to remove any participant from the 5-week program if they've engaged in any kind of unlawful behavior or if that behavior may violate the equity policy. So like Michelle shared before, we certainly hope that that will not be necessary, but we actually have had to do that in the past as well. So I just want to make sure that everybody is clear on that. And so I hope that all of you will engage in this program and have the best possible experience, and that that will not be part of your experience here at Berklee. So students, just a few little words of advice. We really ask that you look out for one another and be an active bystander if you see someone being unsafe or disrespectful to one of your peers. Try to intervene in a safe way if you can. We ask that you treat all people with respect, respect each other's boundaries, their identities, and the vast array of backgrounds and experiences that you bring to the 5-week program. And we ask that you also adhere to our equity policy. So thank you very much for listening. I hope you have a fantastic experience this summer, and I'm going to introduce Ryan Anderson, and he'll be out in just a moment. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. We are almost there. I am the last one you're going to see. Except those of you who live on campus, which is almost all of you, you're going to see me at 6 o'clock also for the housing meeting. But my name is Ryan Anderson. I'm the Director of Housing and Residential Education. And that's not my slide, is it? That is. Sweet. So that's me. So I'm the Director of Housing and Residential Education, so I'm in charge of the residence halls. As you know, a lot of you probably saw me today running around. So these are the residence halls that we have, just so you have some context for where folks are. I couldn't find a picture of 98. I didn't want to walk over and take a picture, so that's definitely not 98 in the middle. But the top one, 150 Mass Ave, that's for students that are 15 to 17 years old that are male and male-identified students, or on the non-binary. It's totally cool too, genderqueer. 160 Mass Ave is for students that are 15 to 17, female-identified or also non-binary. And then 270 and 98 are where we put our over 18 students, just for context. Staffing. So you probably saw a lot of my people wearing black shirts, these polos, etc. I'm going to just take a quick explanation of what they are. It doesn't really matter. Just need to know that we have a ton of staff here to support you. Make sure that you're getting the resources that you need, et cetera. So I've got 2 associate directors. I have an assistant director of housing operations. I have an area coordinator, and I have 20 summer programs assistant, 3. 3 summer program assistant resident directors. Big difference, right? But I have 20 summer operations assistants and 35 RAs. So in total, we got like 60 or something like that. That's a lot of staff here to help you out. So we've got the coverage. So a couple rules. I think you'll probably all pretty much know this already, but for those of you who are in 150 or 160, curfew is at 10:30 p.m. You have to be in your room at 10:30. So they're going to knock on your door, or it's better if you just leave it open, whatever. You show your ID, they check you off, you're good to go. You can't leave the building, but you can leave your room, okay? I'll talk more about that at 6 o'clock. There are no nights away. This is a change from previous years. In previous years, people could do nights away. We have changed that in consultation with the health professionals at Tufts Medical Center as a COVID safety precaution. There were a range of actions we could take to try to keep people more safe. You know, the vaccine, the PCR that you showed up with, all these different things. And one of the things was limiting travel. So unfortunately, you know, in years past, people would go home on the weekend sometimes, or they'd go down to New York for a weekend. And I think you can understand the risk that can introduce to the community. We do have folks in our community that are immunocompromised and other folks who are not able to take the vaccine because of medical issues. So we have to do the best we can to protect them by some of these actions. So that's for, anyway, so no involvement with drugs or alcohol. I know Michelle already hit on that, to be very clear, and I'm gonna talk about it at 6. When she said 0 tolerance, she wasn't playing. I'm gonna say this again at 6 o'clock, but I'm gonna say it again here. I've been here for 5 years. There has never been a time when a student was caught with drugs or alcohol where they got to stay in the program. It has not happened, ever, in 5 years. So, you know, I understand you're away from home, you want to have a little freedom, whatever, that's cool, I dig it, but just don't do it with drugs and alcohol. And you know, if somebody tries to convince you to do it, or you know, don't do something you wouldn't normally do at home, because we will send you home, and you will be shocked how easy it is to get caught. People talk, and that stuff smells. So, no guests in your room, socialize in the common areas, that's not even a COVID protocol. That's something we've always had for years for those who are in the 150 and 160 buildings. No guests in your room. If you're in the over 18 crowd, the rules are a little bit different for you. Dining, so a few slides here on dining, and then I'm gonna get out of here. So this is very small, I'm gonna have to look up here. So these are the hours. So breakfast, 8 a.m. to 10:30, lunch, 11:30 to 2:30, dinner, 5 to 8. Something to know. Y'all are like, I guess, high schoolers, right? You probably haven't eaten food on a college campus too many times. I've been in this game a long time. I've eaten at dozens and dozens of dining halls at college campuses across the country. This is by far the best food on a college campus I have ever eaten. It is great. It's very good. And I say this every year, if you haven't tried them yet, you gotta get down with those chicky nuggies, man. The chicken nuggets are on point. So, gotta get the barbecue sauce though. So, Sundays, they do brunch. They do brunch on Sundays, 10:30 to 2, dinner 5 to 8. That we used to do meals in between these hours. We've stopped that because they do sanitizing during that time. So you do have to hit the right time. And if you forget this and you wanna see what the hours are, if you just Google Berklee cafeteria, the website comes right up. A couple other things. So to get into the caf, you have to swipe your ID. They do have a reusable to-go program where you can get requests like a plastic container. You can take food with you when you leave. And they do have folks with special dietary conditions. Similar thing. I've been here for 5 years. I have yet to encounter a student who had a dietary issue, restriction, etc., that could not be accommodated. They can do it all, folks. If you're vegan and you got a gluten allergy and you only eat on Wednesdays, they can take care of you. Whatever it is, like they can do it for you, I promise. So, and this is the email address. It's just nutritionservices@berklee.edu. They'll hook you up. They can get whatever you need. The last slide, I think it's the last slide. Yeah. I got 2 more. Housing meeting tonight at 6 p.m. So here, I see a lot of parents and families here. That's cool. This is orientation. The housing meeting, because of space restrictions, it really only needs to be the students that are at the housing meeting, okay? Because we're probably going to fill the bottom and the top for that. So for the housing meeting at 6 o'clock, make sure you come back for that. It's just the students. The last bit, move out, Saturday, August 14th by noon. That's a hard time. Like after that, we don't have any place to put you. So please remember that, Saturday, August 14th at noon. We got to make it happen. And that is all. I think yeah, that's it. I'll let y'all go. Thank you. I think it's still on.